After guiding over 1,000 people through psychedelic experiences, I've become convinced that most people are looking for healing in the wrong place. They're looking at the symptoms, the anxiety, the depression, the addiction, sleeplessness, the burnout, relationship patterns. And of course, those things are real, but very often they're not the root. They're the signal. They're the messenger. They're the smoke, not the fire. So the question isn't just, how do I make the symptoms go away? The better question is, what is this symptom trying to show me? That's where real healing begins. Hi, I'm Zappy Zappling, co-founder of Psychedelic Concierge, and for more than 20 years, I've been helping people to navigate psychedelic and deeper transformations that can happen when this work is approached responsibly. If you're looking to build a career in the psychedelic space, we've put together a free guide briefing linked in the description below. Before we begin, this video is only for education purposes. It's not medical or legal advice. Psychedelics aren't right for everyone, so always consult qualified professionals and follow the law where you live. Now, let's talk about what actually creates healing. So, a lot of modern life teaches us to just manage symptoms. If you can't sleep, take something to sleep. If you're anxious, numb it. If you're burned out, push through. Or if you're disconnected, distract yourself. And look, sometimes support is necessary, but there's absolutely a place for medicine, therapy, doctors, protocols, and practical tools. But there's also a difference between managing a symptom and understanding why the symptom's there. That's the distinction that I think psychedelics can help to reveal. They don't always give you a neat answer, and they don't always give you the answer that you wanted, but they can help you to see beneath the surface. And when you finally see what's underneath the pattern, you're no longer just rearranging symptoms. You're beginning to understand yourself. I've said this before about biohackers, and I say it with love because I know a lot of them, but sometimes biohackers, they're really just symptom hackers. Someone says, I can't sleep, and their immediate answer is, take melatonin, or try this supplement, or use this device, or track this metric. And again, those are things that may help, but the question I'm always interested in is, why can't you sleep? Is it your nervous system? Is it grief? Stress? Is it guilt? Is it the fact that your life is completely out of alignment and nighttime's the first moment that your body actually has enough quiet to tell you the truth? That's a very different conversation. And this is where psychedelics can be very powerful. They may help someone to get beneath the symptoms and finally ask the deeper question. Not just, how do I stop feeling like this? But what is this feeling connected to? That's where the work starts to become real. Now, this might sound a little different, but the way I think about healing is that we're often trying to return to our original frequency. Who were you before the world got its hooks into you? Before people told you who you had to be, or institutions shaped your identity, or before your family systems gave you roles to play. This could be before trauma taught you to protect yourself, and before success taught you to perform, before fear taught you to shrink. There's a version of you underneath all of that. It's not perfect, it's not untouched, but it's real. And sometimes during a well-held psychedelic experience, people get a glimpse of that original self again. They say things like, I remember who I was. I felt like myself for the first time in years. I realized I've been living somebody else's life. I saw how much of my personality was actually protection. That's profound, because when you understand yourself at that core level, change becomes much more possible. Not because somebody gave you a new identity, but because you finally saw the one that was underneath all the noise. I'm curious how this lands for you. Have you ever realized that a symptom in your life was actually pointing to something deeper? Or have you had an experience where you felt like you remember who you really were? Leave a comment below. I genuinely love reading how people make sense of all these moments. And if this conversation was valuable, give the video a like and subscribe for more grounded conversations. But here's the part that people sometimes miss. Seeing yourself clearly, that's not the end of healing, it's the beginning. A psychedelic experience may show you the root, and it may even show you the wound or the pattern. It could even show you the life that you've been living. But then you have to respond, because Awareness without action, that just becomes another beautiful memory. This is where commitment comes in. If the experience shows you that your body is exhausted, do you rest? If it shows you that you're in a relationship that's hurting you, do you tell the truth? If it shows you that your business is out of alignment, do you change how you build? If it shows you that you've been living from fear, do you begin practicing trust? That's where healing becomes embodied. It's not in the visions, it's in the follow through. And another thing I've learned is that healing, it doesn't last very well in an environment that keeps reinforcing the wound. If someone has a powerful experience and they realize that they need peace, honesty, sobriety, better health, deeper connection, but then they go back to the same chaotic environment, the same relationships, same stress patterns, the same habits, the same community that rewards the old version of them, it's very hard to sustain change. Not impossible, but hard, because environment is stronger than willpower for most people. So part of integration is asking the tough questions. What kind of environment supports the person that I'm becoming? Maybe that means changing your morning routine, or maybe it means spending less time with certain people. Maybe it's all about joining a community that reinforces growth, or maybe it means creating space for meditation or breath work, prayer, movement. Maybe it means building a life where the original version of you has more room to breathe again. And that's not always easy, but it's essential. People sometimes think that the healing only happens during the journey. And the journey might be what you see, but integration is where you become. In the hours after, they matter. The days after matter. The weeks, the months, the years sometimes matter. Because the medicine may reconnect you to your original frequency, but your daily life, that's where you're going to learn to stay connected to it. That's why a daily practice can be so helpful, because meditation, breath work, journaling, time in nature, community, honest conversations, whatever helps you to return to the present moment, because without practices that reconnect you, the world's still constantly going to invite you back into that old programming. The old fear, the old performance, the old identity. Integration, that's how you keep choosing what the medicine helped you to remember. So when people ask me what actually creates healing, I don't think the answer is one thing. It's not just the medicine, it's not the ceremony, it's not just the insights or the process. It's having the courage to look beneath the symptoms. It's understanding yourself at the root. It's connecting you with who you were before the world told you who you needed to be. It's committing to the changes the experience asks of you. It's creating an environment that supports that change. It's integrating over time until those insights become your life. That's healing. Not symptom management, not chasing another breakthrough, not collecting beautiful experiences. Healing is becoming more fully yourself. If there's one thing I want you to remember, it's this. Healing doesn't happen because you escaped your symptoms. Healing happens when you understand what they're connected to. When you get to the root, when you remember who you are underneath the programming, the protection, the expectations, and the pain. And then you build a life that supports that truth. The medicine may show you your original frequency, but integration, that's how you're going to learn to live from it. If you found this video valuable, give it a like so more people can discover these grounded conversations. Subscribe for more videos on psychedelics, ethical foundations, personal growth, integration, and a meaningful career in this space. And if you have questions or some topic you'd like me to cover in a future video, leave it in the comments below. If you're feeling called to go deeper, then click the link below in the description and watch the free guide briefing. It'll help you to better understand the psychedelic space, the different paths that are available, and how to get involved safely, ethically, and legally. Thanks for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.